creator no ana pay a dinia whatever to so YouTube will be creation, Twitter will be creation, Telegram will be creation, Facebook a creation, unthinkable being, why yo reasonable being, why yo robot on control directly, never mono or set up rule, principle, precepts at the mouth say pursue them, so pa no pursue, so pa then you put it away, but at the end of it all, no, that is why God will judge you. Mechio odofo na memokwaba eba Lawson Media. What is asking me be pain? Onyankopon bi eni ho. Heavy bi eni ho. Bonsam jam bi eni ho. Sansemi no ogitum anasa wonyintum. Se okase nyankopon bi eni ho. Heavy be ni ho bonsam jam be ni ho a obenya asofo bi ekokudamfo bi a won ebeba na obekere say indeed onyankopon bi ho nanso de obeka mana kosi nyina ne say gidi se nyankopon ho eno ena se mi papa ene mi nua me dofo Avram Ben Moshe ene eye Yehuda Kintana mo ene eye Chirabosom mo obaba beka kire ose masa gigade okekeka no na anasesem na woto onyankopon wo ho Christopher beka se ane onyankopon wo ho na se onyankopon wo ho a eye hwan na obo onyankopon na akofa asemaba Christopher beka kire ose onyankopon oye uncaused cause of all creation onu nyo obi ana ye no eno ane se obaye na se okoka se ewiasi aye no ane baaye de a na Christopher ene wanya na je say there cannot be anything like spontaneous creation ewiasi entumi jump into existence sana Christopher ka na nyamwa na mosaka se aye onyankopon ewiase we na ewo mu no asase we osoro ye ohoi enua ene ade ewo mu nyina no out of nothing eno nyakopon ma na baaye. So can something be out of nothing? Is the Bible believing in spontaneous creation or not? Or for my try homra hono nene go prameso ebe de papa ye try homra ni me hwese ampa onyankopon bi ho anase onyankopon bi ni ho by responding to a video bia ye be kwa kwhwe ye komra why are there pay you say oji edwa na wotwa na ye ema ye da na ye ho baaye dwumadie eti any time with Brother Stephen. That is the program. Now, and the subtopic, and I say, yen nina so, and I say, and you be saying, how does it? Nina so, and I said, there is no God. There is no God. There is no heaven. There is no hell. Because hey, na Brother Stephen, one part and the okay kasanse mi ane emre dane emre edane ebia and means madane from saying say onyankopon bi ho to saying say onyankopon bi eni ho madane from saying say there is heaven to saying say there is no heaven. What I say, because no one has come from heaven before, no one has been to heaven before to tell us there is heaven, no one has seen God before to tell us there is God. Mebwana. All right. Say, Oshe a year Free Mind Family TV. Free Mind Family TV. I think say best getting to 5 weeks ago. Getting to 5 weeks ago, not just getting to 1 month, 1 week. And a year opposite a year this video. and this guy reacted to a assembly at Chiabosom or Kanye. Chiabosom keka ensem ahoro bebre na enye enoso na ye kwesisi. Chiabosom the can reacted to several of his videos and his assertions. But then this time round, you share this video and Ranian share the assertions or the claims being made by the the executor of a free mind family. Yenti asemwa oka nemra sisia.
When I kaya na ebinum ntiase no. Menua, you came from nowhere and you are going nowhere. Very simple. What you say pa? You came from nowhere and you are going nowhere. Because the concept of heaven doesn't make sense. Say heaven be oho. I am much better than asasi so. Inti bisango say edi enti ena nyame amo ye ngu ho. Na nyame ebo ye gu ha. Wadwen be ye say obo ye gu ha say o de test yen se ne be ya obehu omnom a omye ne ba. Ene omo a omunye ne ba. Now mame kai wo say mo na mo sie say sa nyame no onim ahyase kosi awieye. Because you are omnipresent, or you are omnipotent, or you are omniscient. Enti nyame a owo all these qualities. A onim ahyase kosi awieye no. He doesn't need to put anybody to test. Because ube failure onim before he even starts. Ube passing so onim. So what's the need for test? Or why the need for test? Yekosuku a ye ma ye nso he because ye teacher ni no onim awieye se ade na o kire ye no se ye ti ase se ye anti ase the teacher no know. That be why they give we exams to rep. But can you say the same thing for God? That is why I tell you say mo Bible mo som ene mo gidie no a placing limitation on God if he exists. Because Emma Nyameno a portray Nyankopon as a nipa or human limitations. Adam, where are you? A human limitation. Yes, I was soma obi every heaven say. Matisse say na ekos was Sodom ni Gomorrah. Kwa cheke shema me say no kra. A human limitation. Inti mo Bible. Ene mo sumna mudi echire no. A place limitation on God. If he exists, it defeats the attributes of Modemasa Nyankopon say, or you're omnipresent, or you're omniscient, or you're Alpha and Omega, or you're everlasting God. Now, so ni suni ne baina Bible no, edi huwa dansi no, entresa. What you say pa? Heaven, bon sem jem, eye broni concept. Abrofo ne beton sa concept no e ma yen. Minia, heaven ni bebia o, eno ane asase so. Siesie ukro yi. Ma ukro entumpon eno ane heaven. International oko Singapore, they have created a heaven for themselves. Go to America, Beverly Hills. Udru hwa, you see that yes, this is heaven.
Orofo Megiri say ote ensemo na abrantie okeka no. Etisade na mekeka na bia wo ho adwuru ebra na wutie me no. Also say you came from nowhere and you are going nowhere. What does you say? Simple. You came from nowhere and you are going nowhere. Udeti ehon kwa na samra bio.
When I kaya na ebinum ntiase no. Menua, you came from nowhere and you are going nowhere. Very simple.
What say? Or say you came from nowhere and you are going nowhere. Let me ask this question. Asemi ya no kre. Anasa nya no kre. What is the reason entia abrantie o kasa asemi? Abribia so nipa e kan asemo a tie no yie manenka na asem no nsi. Sa o kan asem no emenisia. Then you put a question. Say adenti ena wa agene kire wo say. Adenti ena woka yi, adenti na woka yi. Ti asem ni. Onipa kan asem na say the reason na or be ma e wo akire no ejina doubt eso a ejina equivocation eso a ejina something ambiguous eso a it tells you say onipa no oni fact onipa no oni enyinaso because radio to say the man came from nowhere and man is going nowhere, no, does it really make sense to you? Does it make sense? Onipa e baby no nipa free buy no nipa nko baby because we say no asema okay no, it's a reference to the origin of man. So whenever you are asked what is your origin, what is the origin of man, what is the origin of this universe, let's say this universe just jumped into existence. This universe spontaneously happened. Man spontaneously happened. Man spontaneously occurred on the very planet. Does it sound well in your ear? Because in our normal world, no, we never see things happening spontaneously. You will say a jumping into existence. It's a brand cannot say you came from nowhere and you are going nowhere. Mama, papa, minya bara ma minya ba wotie me. Oyetum anasa wunyintum. Ehne fa na ofri baaye. Who was the first man on the very planet? Have you ever heard of the first man on the very planet? Or say one na wata refer to ape man. Ape man, no. Science students, and I think you are there. Ape man, that ape man theory, no. Can you believe, say, Ada, me share this kind of theory? Bufu kesepa no, bra metias. That ape man theory, no, as I just say, a year, sa a more year, obadani nipa no, when you say, Mrafon kaho, na blacks and Africans. Yena na chesa yena na no me apes no. No me emwa no enre no ena wonyini ya na we ya na dua no yira ya nti no ko chese ye embryo no crampa ye wono chese I say podua no abodua no there are so many you emrofo nka akwasi buroni nka ho ono de onya aboa no obada na ye nipa selendio de baby o say odumso obonyom ama black monkeys aba betie dia nko amonyum say ene black monkeys no ene me de ohumi akobeka dark monkeys because me no menya black me dark what does here it no de tiene say sa theory no enya no kore it has been disproved or it has been disproven many times by scholars. What does here pa and etinye bebre na akoso ewo ho. And the theory of evolution near day adana edwumadi no also the man no credit say in our normal world no also it doesn't make sense say bia obaka say osono edane ye no be entatia dane ye na obe akrantie dane ye na obe kokwe dane ye na obe kakape na dane ye no be dane sonso na dane ye no be se no be se. What does it like for instance, say caterpillar, otumi a pie, no be butterfly, and as a fafanto. What does it kunkuntiba, no better than airpoint. That is how the system is. But then say who say ebia kramai ebe than ujain eba bedane ebia what is it aponche and as if no it never happens. That is the reason who says the evolutionary theory, Darwinian theory of evolution, you know, what is it? A fable, a idea, a myth. What I say, pa, Africa, dear, Onipa, Antimi Masse, when free baby and a buyer, now Uncle Baby. Do you know what this assertion suggests? Sa assertion, Branty, opportune across or no, the suggested NSA. Onipa eternal. Because Onipa eternal there. That really means say Onipa needs no cause. Onipa isn't an effect. Metia mean effect. No one made me, no one caused me to be. And for that matter, I am eternal. I am myself God. And I am responsible and accountable to nobody. I'm accountable and responsible to myself. I respond to my own actions and all that. I does my own things. I'm never going to die. I will live forever. But then, why do man die? I date in a nipa wu. So nipa and free baby and a buy, no nipa and co baby idea. It really means that o nipa eternal. O nipa, you are yourself God. And for that matter, you do not die. We here or like you want to home. Senka sasa ma branti e kan e no kra. E kanya de se onipa be wu. E kanya de se onipa be sei said ye oye effect. As far as onipa be extinct, you diminishes like a candle, right? Then you enter into extinction. Said a candle would see wa e diminish here na fe na ira. E melt ya na fe na ira. That is how man is. Onipa emfa ho ne se do sitie bia. We den ube wo fra sase so akọ. Emfa ho ne se do sitie bia we den obekọ. What I say bebre na na baba to wa sase so. Hey, bebre na na obo ndi kura je se wo do nsafo wonim. Obo ndi se wo do nsafo wanum se beko wanu mu a because ondi ne mu odu. What I say, but then where are they today? They are all gone. And kwafo bebre tena se a wokeka nsam yibi as enne no I believe say enka wotiase a enka saasema wokan no kobeka masaja wokan no na wunya ngum koye hade se wona obi kontokwa na se wuhu nipa no a wuhu that kind of thing na you better be very careful. The culture no, it isn't about what you see, it isn't about what you hold, it isn't about what you've been holding. All we get to remain there be the you are not omnipresent. You are not omnipotent. You are not omniscient. You are limited to your own vicinity. You are limited to your area. Baby, atana na uhunu. What I say? When you all knower, all knowing person. When you omnipresent, it will then catch say there is no God. Where the catcher say, Onipa, you came from nowhere and you are going nowhere. Whilst you've been nowhere before. You've not been everywhere before. What I say? This guy hasn't ever been everywhere before. You've been somewhere though, but not everywhere. This is for a car, this is for aeroplane. As I know, baby, meboa. But yeah, can't be a committee, you know, na minim the air baby. Metia no minim de ekoso de o sene de o sabre obi hu kire no sabre obi eni obi ani age sabre obi yese kokoma de nyina manitua. That is why we do not base on God's omniscience and omnipresence for evidence. What I say en na ya na Yehuda kintan na mo entiase no. So no say Avram Ben Moshe wontiase no. Say David ane oko boy jaman one eye Bathsheba Uriah eye na yere no. Right, onipa ben so she do for amere mu a enipa tu e be dia dance say ye hunu say osimesi na yes je nipa mi na dance so na e bi obesi na bo and oben ne say why ne say. But then tell us say Bible ne mo no ebra David ene eye Bathsheba ko ba jaman no onipa ben ne ko hunu ye adansifo mi no ben ne ba e be kan ye onyankopon ye omnipresent and David being a leader of a whole nation. Eti ene nyankopon esuma eye odifo no e ma na ko nchen no. You do not base on God's omniscience, omnipresence enka Ghana hase ye wo no enka bebre mu nyina nka me da afiase me bi kwa nka me so me da afiase. What I say the other kokomu bia ni ho nyankopon enim, right? Onyankopon nim nyina but onipa hu a ye gene paradise ye so but onyankopon enim bibia no doesn't base on that as an evidence. Tanati enuntina David ye no wonti ase say ye den na nyankopon ama wankunu no because enye nipa mienu bi obi na kwache ne say David ye say nipa mienu dance ye ni ene wo gina so abesi David abo. That is why you see it that way. That's why we need to study the Bible very well. Or we get to remain. Okay. And you know, this statement, you know, this assertion, you know, this claim, you know, is disproved. It is never true. Say man came from nowhere and man is going nowhere. And can man and as well nipa aye what is it? Eternal. And ko nipa muda as far as nipa ewu no de, right? Say na ya wo ka say wo be wu no de. say the me ametia make say me wuni de I dare no say onipa enko baabia onipa enfi baabia na baaye onipa or man didn't just happen spontaneously there be ebia na ofi ade mu baaye me mfi ade mu na baaye so you ask the question say ade no kura bo fini fa na baaye right enti ameta bi say ask me say ape no ana say aboa no ni mu ana say ape oba mebo na berema ena oda na ye ena obeye I can say berema ena oba right enti no say no me too ena oda ne beye berema na oba ba chonka ebu wiase bio enke bi ni wiase bio because one da ne beye I can say oba ena berema no ena a free satan ni nyina wo nipa say de meti hei enti no why do we still have apes others here why do we still have them because no way too ena ba oda ne oba ena berema right enti no why do we still have them on the me no okay my interest way afei ye bisa abrantie say owura Mr. Free Mind family member what's the matter can you say man came from nowhere and for that matter man is going nowhere. What is your base? What is your evidence in cases like this, you know, or in assertions like this, you know? Yana here tangible proof. Yana here tangible evidence. Maybe tell me here tangible reason. What I say, pa, you've laid down a premise to be. Now there is a conclusion. Because a conclusion is very much effective. The law of rationality states that a justifiable conclusion demands adequate evidence. A justifiable conclusion. For your conclusion to be justified, you need an adequate evidence. What I say? So what is your evidence say? Man came from nowhere and man is going nowhere. Anna, yes, I saw the video all to us one or man reason. Or say you came from nowhere and you are going nowhere because that is condition. Because that means that they trust on any reason. They trust on any so Tia Branti say okay because of something in Timbra.
When I kaya na ebinom ntiase no. Menua, you came from nowhere and you are going nowhere. Very simple. What you say ba? You came from nowhere and you are going nowhere. Because the concept of heaven doesn't make sense.
Therefore, if I say here, or say you came from nowhere and you are going nowhere because the concept of heaven doesn't make sense. Did you get that? You came from nowhere and you are going nowhere because the concept of heaven doesn't make sense. Unfri baabia na baaye. Na unko baabia menyina so ne se adwene se heavy bi ehwo no nyansa bi anim. But you see the o say ni evidence no. O say ni nyina so ntia heavy bi ene wono no. Ni nyina so ntia what is it? Onipa bi anko heaven eno no. Ni nyina so sound ndribi. Ya na ensem bi asere meje sie akọ enim no. Ye betie. Ya na sound of Africa say there is no heaven anywhere. Tell somebody you. There is no heaven anywhere. Avram Ben Moshe akasa asemi bida. Ana Abranti bi okotena Mami Grace TV. Our friend said Jesus Ali immortal. Ono so akasa asemi bida. That there is no heaven anywhere. Abranti so can be said there is no heaven anywhere. Heaven no enwane here. Do you see the contradiction? Do you see the contradiction? There is no heaven anywhere. Heaven no enwane here. Na anywhere no as you say. Anywhere now what can what as you say. There is no heaven anywhere logically. Heaven ni baby heaven anywhere. Am I making sense? Ahande baby. Say heaven hanya baby. There is no heaven anywhere. Heaven no anywhere they yen share the video. Yen share say waka na yembra.
Heaven bonsam gem eye broni concept. Eye abrofo na beton sa concept no e ma yen. Minia. Heaven ni baby o eno ane asase so.
For you say chamia oni masam kan osanana we de wasumwa. What say there is no heaven anywhere, but then heaven anywhere contradiction. The beyond the kind of logical law of contradiction. It states a contradictory statement cannot both be true at the same time in the same sense. It cannot be possible that there is no heaven anywhere and that there is heaven. There is heaven somewhere at the same time in the same sense. There be heaven ni baby adia men kasa high heaven. Heaven ni baby adia men kasa man on heaven. US a heaven. Europe a heaven. Dubai a heaven. Ghana a bonsam dem Avram Ben Moshe edi baby tie na asema okaye. Avram Ben Moshe was say aye amanonemo no US money ade no ehone a heaven. Has say no aye bonsam dem. If there is no heaven anywhere, why do you tell us heaven aye amanone na high bonsam dem? You don't believe it. So if there is no heaven anywhere, it should remain as such. But then don't tell us that there is heaven somewhere. Higher heaven, but heaven in baby a contradiction. Avram Ben Moshe niambra.
O bompaya, o say ye John wasro, o de hontel, wa hindi emra. A hindi no emra. O so si wukom, ade na ba. Enti only heaven e be bonsa ho. Enti heaven bi ani wiem ho.
O nyin ni sa heaven ho.
Enye me na me nyin di Jesus kula kan.
Say ye de agidi wo na nyin ni.
There be Jesus kula nyin ni sa heaven ho.
Mentiase Luke onyin ni sa heaven ho.
Luke 17:30. Tie Jesus.
Luke 17 verse 20.
Obi kope baby heaven she tie.
Luke 17:20.
20 and 30.
20.
Luke chapter 17 verse 20.
What say?
Yes.
Na Pharisee for ebisan say.
And a Pharisee for no ebe bisa Jesus say.
Da ben Nyankopon hin beba.
Da ben na Nyankopon hin die. Heaven o obi antio. Bisa Jesus said da ben na Nyankopon hin die na beba.
Na obo awon say.
Na Jesus ka kire Pharisee for no say.
Nyankopon hin ni e ma say enitua.
Nyankopon hin die na ya ka ho asem heaven no. E ma te say ade bi a enitua.
Na so won ka say.
Na so heaven na ya ka ho asem no. Ye nka say.
Hwe ha ana e ho.
Heaven no hwe ha ana hwe eho
na hwe Nyankopon hin no
Nyankopon hin die heaven na ye ka ho asem no
mumu ene wo
ena ewo. The kingdom of God is within you. Etu na be build we asena heaven. Heaven is a place of pleasure. To say Dubai, to say United States, to say Germany, heaven, place of pleasure. Ghana, hell. Bo nsam jim. Say enya hell say.
Orafo say me pesa me trail enuama ensam a ekosam krofo yi ensam a yaro kekan say na me hya ase na me ka bi no o say so to obu ase na say o ka say o asase one ensam no year because who tie one ensam no year you get to know say sometimes they make sense, sometimes they do not make sense. How we get to with me it just say utumi eto obu ase na utumi analyze one 70 year na beboa ama watumi aide be enya enti ase bi radio. So say, you came from nowhere and you are going nowhere because the concept of heaven does not make sense. Tiasemini. Mema won kwa bontene. Ana mema won ma compound honso. If we say sa wa denia what they can say o kwa abontene no en Thomasun tiasemni you some kasa asem we no have I given a proof say at the crop potintia mama onko abontene and asem mama compound no enie like me pa say masem na meka no who say won tiasie no right. So does it give an evidence say the American no kra na? Some asem me make assertion, make claim. Say heaven e ho. Na say no concept na me dey say heaven no e ho no. And the idea say heaven ho no say it doesn't make sense to you. Does it mean say enya no kra say heaven ho na? But what my argument na say? Does it give a clue say heaven be anyhow? Say it doesn't make sense to you and that is your problem. What I say? Say it making sense to you it doesn't mean say you've proven it to be wrong. But then we want to say that is why we need to say and no doesn't give or establish any fact say and you're not question heaven or What I say, because Banti has more can say, Onye and Tumsa have your Nipa and Kobe and one baby and a buy all because the concept of heaven doesn't make sense. What I say, pa, we are fallacious. Say, Unipa, our prophecy, a year, what is it? Our logic, and as a common sense, obey to me, akasa right? Say, the concept, no, doesn't make sense to you. It doesn't necessitate the fact, say, heaven be in ho. So you got it wrong over there, my brother. Then I said, we know a hasty generalization, and as a hasty conclusion. Where's our quarter? One shall be bois in the pacum for our bra. They just want to me to bois say, now we shall win some muye. And it basis also on a year, the offender say, the fallacy of insufficient evidence, fallacious. Fallacy of insufficient evidence. We need a swan a more ha. We need a swan a munyedu. Sana assembly so to me in a swan before so that disprove say, have me be any ho. Now, Obia uncle, have be no. It can say to me omnipresent. It can say to me omni knower. It can say to me omnipotent. It can say to me in aura. It can say those attributes are dema onyankopon. It can say to me in abi. We obia baby I want baby abi. What make I say? There is no heaven. Teaching about some assertions are omeki and I have be anyone having be anyone obia to me can be. What I say, obia to make this kind of assertions, you know, ebi. Kasa de embre, obia to make be. But then, where is the proof? Chirabosom, and the trese, having be anyone. Abanti, ni proof, and say be anyone. Avram Ben Moshe, who proof, and say be anyone. You have never been outside this universe before. Where they are the woo? There may answer munya eternal. Never tell me eternal. You na Savakas will watch it. Have you been or watch it? Some no. Have you ever been outside this living before? Sir, as a tunnel say, free muda. What that's here? Free muda. Name the best on the watch it. Unim de besi abra obewu no achi na obaka say heaven be any ho oni pe wu achi abra unko roda all we get with me da bia no ya na chese metaka sa asembe say aya onyankopon a obo so ni asase no onyankopon a obo so ni asase no opese o mani pe nyina hu no say a rational being na odoni nyina nso na obabu nipa nyina atan na onye no outright. That is why Jesus Christ bas as so no. That is why we have the Bible, and every picture of where we want to go no our Bible ni mu. What I say, it's about divine accommodation. Onyankopon limiting him to our level in some way. So the bear no bet me communicate with us, but me any and communicate. Though be beyond the bet matter say completely because he's God and we are men. Your limited thinking, your limited way of reasoning, your way of reasoning no yen to me and fan criticize Onyankopon. That is why whenever you're studying the Bible, there is something called the principle of God's higher view. The principle of God's higher view, no, that is Isaiah 55, verse number 8 and 9. This view suggests, say, Onyankopon say na kwan e kwoche nipa de. Na dene e kwoche nipa de. So oya den and the limited thinking no exercise Onyankopon man ye. Eti onu mo no ade bibi amaye. Right? Onu ade bibi amaye. Na the amaye no a Bible no. It's the Bible no actually the will of God. The ebeya ye betumi anya na nchen akọ. Now the ento aso abante be ka asem na yenye na yefa ya asem no ensi. The question etoso miensa o say, if there is a heaven somewhere better than this earth, why didn't God put us there? Say heaven be eho ɛhɔ no ɛyɛ kama ɛtɛn asase so ɛwɔ no a adenti ana onyankopɔn wan fayen antena hɔ na ɔde ba asase so tiasɛmni we ɛyɛ question and it bases on doubt that I'm talking asɛm bi sɛ Rabbi Zacharias ɛka asɛm bi ɔse behind every question there is a questioner. Tiasɛmni akwai sɛ wotamfo egyina w'anim na obisa a question sɛ di onim ɔno ankasa na prepared answer ɛwɔ hɔ dada. But the church said the logic in Christianity doesn't make sense. And logical Christians are professional nyansanim. Common sense are Christians are using nyansanim because heaven be a better place than yeniasa asiswa. Updating on Yankopon just one more than what the ambassador is so. Mamma dear Bible not say where Genesis chapter 1 verse number 1 adequacy 30 nyina no a ana 31 nyina no a Bible no amma yete ase say enye obi na compel onyankopon say omade amche wade no one compelled God to create. A creator is the one who creates. Na ono akasa e na boni tirim na ode biribiba. Na say o create ade no a that thing na o create no has no say. Utieme ade na o create no it has no say. Ana baby bia na ope no ana ode the creation no ebeko. What I say? Because you were not there when God was creating you. A creation cannot put such question to the creator because the creator created you based on his own authority. Ono akse to me mu ana yo baby odo ekoto ye bia no e ho na ono ankasa e pese wotena so you dare not question him. Anyenye entimi misa na nyumfo se adenti na aye mesa dabi. It's an insult, it's a blasphemy. What does that mean? There are several many social media platforms, right? And Facebook, a creation, has been created by somebody. A dear open or the toso programs are open and I will install a Facebook. YouTube, a will be creation. Twitter, a will be creation. Telegram, a will be creation. WhatsApp, a will be creation. TikTok, a will be creation. Instagram, a will be creation. There's only a power. Creator no, Anna, or pay a dinia, whatever to swap. There's only you. Anna, me, Matia say no, Sebastian did you maybe. I tried to create a platform. The platform now me create no, me pa, make me create. Oh, Facebook. That me creation no cannot question me identity na obe create me oh Facebook. Right? That me creation to me and question me identity na obe create me oh TikTok. What I say pa? Baby I want see abrantie o ka say no o ka sa asem no. Ayo creation. Free Mind Family TV. Who no create? That creation has no question to ask you. That creation needs to go by your instructions. The open and now we do creation. Aye, sanity. The open and do creation. Aye, and so besides say baby, oh aye better than this place. Adenti and Yankopon alma. That is it is because aha and no pay say gentana. Na so say Bible near you get to know say. Ebia the one say ahokyere ne ade nipa wo ne bla 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 ne ade no Bible ne say right at the very outset no na ntesa na enka ntesa baby na onipa ewo no that is the Garden of Eden bia na ko betena say forever. But then you know how the Bible story goes. Say onipa eyaso den na ofri baby na owo na chese oba betena say asisi no. Yes, that is what the Creator did. No one can question him. Yes. Your creation cannot put those questions to you. Now the entity me be said this kind of questions no and say onyankopon why rational beings. Why I say why thinkable beings. Why reasonable beings among all creations no yene and is superior. Sani nyankopon aye. Everything that me be say all these questions. Everything obebu atan because why a rational being, why a thinkable being, why a reasonable being, why a robot. What I say on control directly. Never mono or set up rule, principle, precepts at the mouth say pursue them. So pa no pursue, so pa then you put it away. But at the end of it all, no, that is why God will judge you based on your own words, based on your own actions. Today can be an Avram Ben Moshe. You can be no a UTI what is it? Yehuda Kentana. You can be an Mr. Chirabosum. You can be no abrantie share won some na waka no yi because we dan be what as so be say adate na nyankopon wa moyen engu eye heaven ho na odien eba ye no he created us by his own will obi enu wa share no kind Revelation chapter 4 verse number 11 you get to know that. And again, working kind Psalm 115 verse number 3 you get to know that say onyankopon and you be and say why there be omoye ono aksa ne pem ti ba bi ope and ode ba ye and nneoma ewunta nyina no Bible no say onyankopon de yes because untumi ntina say completely na emo no yebetuma tina say koduru bia bi. That is why sometimes you think nyankopon kro free fan the ba ye on the board enuntia ewunta untumi huno working kind Deuteronomy 29 verse number 29 na Bible no say the other din nyina no eye dia na scientists utumi dia bay utumi ehunu na woka eho asem no na de ehunta no oye den inter scientists beka say ya ko wie mu ho nyina ya nyankopon ya hunu da he what is this physical eye who abi hunu eye that should be okay etino sanate abrantie say adenti and there is a better place nyankopon amoye ngo no de ba ha say tie se oka na fe yem be krosu eye program no
se heavy bi ho a much better than asasi so enti bisa ho se edi enti ena nyame amoye ngo ho na nyame ebo ye go ha wadwen be ye se oboye go ha se ode test yen se ne be ya obehu omnom a omoye ne ba ene omo a omonye ne ba na mame kai wo se mo na mo sie se sa nyame no onim ahyase kosi awieye because you're omnipresent or you're omnipotent or you're omniscient enti nyame a owo all these qualities a onim ahyase kosi awieye no he doesn't need to put anybody to test
for what here say na okasa asem no eno no ankasa be predict asem a so we Christian na obeka anasa we a believer obeka be a believer in God obeka say you will say you what is it you will say that he brought us here to test us to know those who are his sons and those that are not his sons or say asema obeka say onyankopon or the end bas as so better stay and say the beye no be hu wona ye ne ma ene wona awanya ne ma o say o ka say no a no san so be kasa be kire say e ba say no you are limiting God if there is any God religion ema onyankopon o ye limited because how can you say onyankopon nim say we na be na asem so we na eni na asem so ena tese je so oboyen e die na bansa na obeso ye na hwe say we ena odi masade so we na we ni so asana be na ten odofo say unsua Bible no a and as we argument yeah it just we are very careful and sana why argument say what you say we apply logic ewo eye o discourse how do mu a obi apply logic e chen me metie binka say minim chen obi ewo nim de ne chen me so we apply rationality ewo dialogue and as our discourse emu a yeah hunu say why your research ye and sana we apply and as what can say asem na wo kan no ma me che wade Bible no actually menu me no say yes because we are critic of the Bible cramponoa you study the Bible do what biased view audition Bible, but then you still study the Bible. Bible no dientia uhuno say Adam ni Eve oya so de Nyankopon atwen wona so ene say they were rational beings, they were thinkable beings, they were reasonable beings. One ankasa to make distinguish between moral right and moral wrong. What I say, Onyankopon ye nipa rational being, why free moral agent. Sanity enunti one kasa utumi decide so be papa. Amna say obey bone Onyankopon ense nipa bi say tenchina twan ye say there bi enen ka obebu na tan kanyansa bi anim. What I say pa ekobu na tan a kanyansa bi anim. Sana asamrate the reason tia Onyankopon obebu ye na tan no eno no Onyankopon eda odido adasa eno no wa remote control nipa bia wo jaw pomu di amao. That is why it will be like a test to you because say papa obebu hu atan wo bone a obebu hu atan sana asamrate you know you can distinguish between moral right and a moral wrong. It na nyame na meje say and enya wo na wo dwene say na enya obi na eje say nemo no san Nyankopon ayeye. That is why I would to me every reason not to put up questions, would me express doubts any other. Oh, several arguments already by we know emu. Or for major say, Yakasa yedi adenechia as you fra crampono, and yada say beshe beshe as you frau. Sana samete Zawshe Genesis chapter 6, verse number 1 down was Noah. You get to know that the Kuntia Bible not say, Onyankopon yen ya ona kumemu say aye oyo aye unipa na chaso press or din suo ebepa nipa nyina first aseso fira boa so kokosi unipa so no na nya say bi Nyankopon nim say bi sade ne besi o na emum no waye nipa rational beings waye obi a one kasa no to me decide to do the right thing and to do the wrong thing. That is why unipa to me surprise Nyankopon Bible no say unipa okra ba kumpo esa tira na adwen a above from pimpim nyina dia wurisi Onyankopon ni ebom age adentira was surprising because why nipa rational being, why nipa thinkable being, reasonable being, free moral agent, and for that matter you can surprise him. We are born here etimi shocking no etimi shocking no because one remote control waja opemu e the amount enunti and as a wunya heaven ekwa you get to know say yes me deserve say me nya heaven wunya bonsam dem kwa you get to know say yes me deserve say me nya bonsam dem ko and C.S. Lewis okay and say God will take no one to heaven and God will take no one to hell. Reverend Zacharias the great apologist on also ekan sa say me wouldn't the C.S. Lewis okay no or say eniema nipa wo do mienu na we ase mo nipa wo do mienu no ye wode oka say God your will be done, God may your will be done, and God tells that person then let me control your life. Onyankopon ope and Onyankopon say then my will be done, and yeah me precepts, me principles, me regulations, me norms, me laws and I will be this war. Anna ye wo nipa ba ko a ono so ka say my will be done. Me anka say me pen na meye bitsa Avram Ben Moshe mo Yehuda kinta na mo chira boso mo na sefo no my will be done. Nyankopon ka say then your will be done. And the one ka say the ope what I say but at the end of it all the ne pe e me Nyankopon and the one ka say ko ne pe mo no mu nyina no mbebu Nyankopon e bu matan sana asabete ya sase so de ope bi akeka ye ope bi Pascal Blaise Pascal the great scientist as my kind say say so bejatum say Nyankopon ho no should be heard and say bejatum say Nyankopon bi there by anyway sanate John Lennox the great scientist not a genius as John Lennox I can say nonsense remains nonsense even when spoken by famous scientists. Nyankopon shira odofo yebesa so asia bio aha lost in media on time with Brother Stephen. And I shall say, what tenacity now, J, a bread to cool. Now, O'Shea, no, you go so, na be and some anno say, I would mediate so, na abua am I liberated from a falsehood and as a false ideologies and false idiosyncrasies. Yebesa so SBO. Keep watching Lawson Media. Bye bye.